Well, hi again, everybody. Anyway, it's been a very eventful or very, yeah, I know, full few weeks since I've talked to everybody. Fortunately, my grandson is much better, but then I had the unfortunate experience of a neighbor come running screaming over saying that my other neighbor that she went to take pizza over, when she went in the house was on the ground and unresponsive, and so of course with my medical background, and I ran over there, and of course he had no pulse, and I started chest compressions and obviously called 911, but we had to do, me and another neighbor, we did chest compressions for like 12 minutes because the ambulance could not find the address, and which is not unusual where I live, although hey, my doggy, I don't know what's doing. He's getting old too. But for 12 minutes, and he didn't make it. And fortunately, he hey, come on, calm down, okay? Calm down, baby, come on, calm down, okay? His mom, who he lived with, but who come here, let me see if I can calm him down a little bit. Come here, you're okay, you're all right, you're okay. She's 98. She wasn't home at the time because she was at a family gathering that he was supposed to go to. He was in his early 70s. And so, as it worked out, she didn't have to witness it, and then he didn't die in front of all the big family gathering or anything. So, I don't know. It was really very difficult. And then, I think I mentioned I was having some difficulty feeling like kind of depressed after. Actually, my grandson got better because it was like there was all this intense conversation back and forth because they were in France and just moved there, so they didn't have any medical, a pediatrician or anything established yet. Plus, there's the language barrier, and so they were constantly calling me and showing me pictures of of what was going on, and I would say, no, you've got to get him to the hospital now, and and then he'd get another diagnosis, and so it went on like that for weeks, where because they had, since he had no established physician, they would call this emergency. They have this outpatient or this home visit kind of thing where finally he's better and stuff, but it was so intense, and I was anyway, it doesn't matter all the details, but after he got better and out of the hospital, I just felt very like wrung out, and I guess you could call it kind of depressed. Come on, baby, it's okay, it's all right. Come on, you're okay, it's okay. And I know that there's naturally it's kind of like the adrenaline rush in a way. I mean, the thing is that when you someone almost hits you with their car, and the the adrenaline and the rush and stuff, and but once the danger's over, then it's like this kind of this letdown. So, but it was a little bit more than that. I mean, I think. Depression is very, very rampant in my family. Obviously, my father was an alcoholic and with depression, so it does run in the family. So it's a struggle, constant struggle to keep up, sometimes to keep up and moving. But also, so there's that. I think there's that genetic component that's involved. But then there's also the thing is I was thinking, it's like. It's the first time, pretty much, I wouldn't say exactly the first time, but almost the first time that I've had to decide what I wanted to do, because every job I ever had, I was recruited for, you know, and I never had, and then my neuroses, or whatever you want to call it, or my, you know, my neurotic behavior put me in positions where I felt, you know, I had to do something that I had, you know, I didn't have any choice. And so I never just sat down and thought, what do I want? You know, and I really didn't think I had much time. I thought maybe, you know, maybe a year and something. Well, turns out that I'm doing quite well. I think I'm having blood work tomorrow, but certainly longer than I thought. So I had a purpose then. You know, when I came here, even though it was difficult to sell my house and stuff like that, I had a purpose to, you know, to fulfill. And then they had, you know, they had the two babies since I've been here, and then my life was filled with, you know, with them, and now, you know, they're gone, you know, and not totally. You know, obviously my weight's coming off here. You know, we do video calls, you know, 2 or 3 times a week at least, and then I'm going to go there in May for 3 weeks. But it was so, and I hate the weather here where I live. I hate it. You know, it's cold. It's been cold since October. Really cold, and it's still cold. It's still there's it's free. It's gonna freeze tonight, and I just don't function well, and I'm miserable, and I just don't like it. So I'm thinking, you know, and so anyway, so I think part of the thing was I'm trying to figure out, what do I want? What do I really want? And it's something I've never really, you know, at this point that I've in my life that I've, other than wanting to feel special. I mean, that was my whole goal, my whole life, right? But it's like, what do I want? And I don't know. And it was a very daunting task for me, because I don't know what I want, and I still don't know. I mean, I'm not sure, you know. I mean, I'm thinking, well, maybe. I think that was what, and it still is. And then I think what, you know, I tend to do this, and that I think that I took on two like projects that were pretty major, that then I didn't have to think about that, because one of them was I'm helping start a dog club here, but I think I'm the only computer literate person in this whole big, huge retirement community. So all the spreadsheets and all the, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, it fell to me. And then there's one large organization here that has about 600 or 700 members, and in their bylaws every year they have to, at the fiscal year, they have to have some kind of an audit done of their, you know, of their treasury and the books and stuff like that. So my neighbor who volunteered to do it, and then found it was too much, too big a task, and so he gave it back to them, but said he thought he knew someone who could, you know, and it was me, and I said, oh sure, you know. So that kind of like, you know, has taken, that's almost like put me almost like in a data coma. I don't know if you can call it a data coma, because I've been so focused on getting those things done, and then now I'm trying to get ready for, you know, for Paris. So I I want to start really just chatting and you know, what? Huh? And what are you doing? And you know, making more videos. But the thing is I don't have a setup or anything, and it's kind of difficult and stuff. And so my son says to me, well, if you get 1,000 followers, I'll buy you a, you know, I'll gift you a, you know, like a setup of some kind, so that it's not, you know, difficult for me to just sit down and do a thing. But I thought, yeah, right, that's pie in the sky. But anyway, he has wanted me for a long time to like tell my story, because there's a lot of, you know, challenges, but at the same time there's a lot of successes. I did things, you know, that lots of people don't do, you know, kind of thing, and couldn't do or don't want. But he doesn't, he wants it so that, you know, he has it because so he knows it all. I mean, the bits and pieces that he's heard, you know, he's interested, and then he wants it so my grandchildren will really know me, and so I think I'm going to probably start like a vlog, and I'm just going to kind of start from the beginning, and it's not going to be a poor me thing, although there's going to be a lot of sharing of things, because that's what, you know, for good, you know, those challenges or whatever you want to call them, tragedies or, you know, traumas and stuff, you know, played a very important role in who I am. And so I think it's important to include that. I mean, it's life. But, you know, I mean, I also can tell you about stuff like you know, we had ice box as kids. We didn't have a refrigerator or anything. We used to chase the Iceman down the street, you know, and the ice pick chop off big hunks of ice and give it to us kids, you know, running down the street. We used to chew tar, you know, because it was the only place we could get any gum, but that tar that they did the streets with. But anyway, so there are things that you know, are interesting. I don't know if they'll be interesting, you know, how interesting they'll be to other people, but I enjoy hearing unfiltered, you know, stories, because it's a catharsis, you know, for the person sharing, because I finally am at a point in my life where I can, I don't have to pretend that that's not what I was, you know, I don't have to pretend, don't have to try to present myself as someone I'm not. And so I can just, you know, I'm accepting of my behavior and my mistakes, and I'm learning to accept my my successes as well. But in fact, here, look. I don't know. I'm gonna show. I hope I haven't looked at it yet, but I did another little dance. But anyway, I got my. How do you like my? Let's see, my cowboy boots. Wait a minute. Let me turn. I'm going to turn around and see if you can't see my cowboy boots here. Wait. I'll knock this off here. Okay, wait. That's why I keep. There they are. How do you like them? Now, the thing is I'm with a skirt, but you can't really see it, can you? I don't know if I have it on right. I got it from the thrift shop, and I don't know if it zips in the back or from the side. But maybe if I decide to put the dance on that everybody can see, then you'll know what I'm talking about. You can see it, okay? Anyway, I hope I'm going to try to do one of these a week. Like I say, I'm going to try to start the thread. I'm not going to wait till I'm perfect or it's perfect, or the house is perfectly clean or something like that, because I just want to do it, and I don't. The only responsibilities I have right now is I do have quite a few medical things I have to take care of before I go to France, but it's just now I'm getting ready to go to France. So anyway, I love you guys, I really do, and I really mean it, and I hope your life is blessed and full of joy, and that the road bumps or speed bumps or whatever, speed bumps I guess they call it, are not too often, and that you're on a joyful journey. But just know, I don't know how this works, but I can just tell you I feel it, that I do care for you. I really do. And I don't know you in a face-to-face thing, but I feel you. So I really do care for you, and know that somebody really cares. And I don't know how to. It sounds kind of corny, but I don't know how to say it anymore. I care enough that I'm going to share very, very private things that I've never said or shared with anybody. So thank you. Thank you for being there for me and for opening your hearts to the point that I can feel it. I can, and I send that love back to you. So bye, kids. Bye.